Okay, so in last session we have discussed about what is Python, and that was more about the definition of the Python and what are the keywords we have in the definition of the Python we have discussed in detail. Now in today's session we are going to discuss more about Python. Today's session is going to be more interesting because some of the facts what we are going to discuss today that definitely you have not heard before. So please everyone focus on the session. So the today's session we are going to discuss, or we have divided in four parts. Origin of the Python we are going to discuss with who invented Python, when Python invented, where Python invented, and why Python is invented. So first we will start with origin of the Python. So Python is basically invented in 1989, and invented in 1989 and released the first version on 27th January 1991. And the guy who is master to invent of the Python, that guy name is Guido van Rossum, and he belonged to Netherlands. So one thing we understood, when Python has invented, who has invented the Python, and where this guy belonged to. Now after that, coming to the point why he has given the name Python. So, as you know, like whatever the language we heard, or whatever the language we are exploring, each and every language is basically part of some research. Means some people have done some research, and the result is what? Result is one language. So similarly, this guy Guido van Rossum, he also involved in the research, and he has taken long leave from the company, and in his hometown he started doing some work on the one language. Previously, he has given some different name to this language, but because when he was working on this language, that time, most of the time he was in his home only, and in that time people was telling there was one TV serial. That TV serial name was Monty's Python's Flying Circus. This serial is something like how in our Sony TV we have one serial, na Kapil Sharma show, comedy show. So this is also the comedy show. So he was basically fond of this serial, and because of the influence of this serial, he has given the language name what? Python. So why he has given the name Python? I think now you understood. This is not related to any snack or something. He was that name is inspired, or name is originated from the this comedy serial Monty's Python's Flying Circus. Now after that, coming to how Python is. So, as you know, in computer science, any language, any language, when someone has invented something, so definitely this the new thing is invented because we have some problem in the previous version or previous thing. Because of that reason, new things comes in the market. So similarly here also, like in computer science, this is common. As you know, oh, now every day, every week, we are getting new updates from the AI. So over the time, everywhere we are seeing the improvement. So when that Guido van Rossum was working in company, so he basically worked with two languages. First language name was ABC language, and second one is the Modula 3. The the specialty of the ABC language was ABC language was very easy. ABC language was very easy to understand and it is very easy to write. And at the same time, another language that name was Modula 3. Modula 3 language is basically is more focus on the uh, creating the small functions, creating the small modules. Instead of writing a big function, instead of writing a big code like where they require to write 100 line of code or 1000 line of code. So instead of writing 1000 line of code, they have used the small groups like 20 line, and that is basically called the modules. And because of that reason, that language name was Modula 3. So there are two things. One is ABC language was very easy to learn, easy to understand, and Modula 3 is very good, like in the structured form. So Mr. Guido van Rossum has found some gap in these two languages, and he has taken all the good properties from the ABC language and all the good properties from the Modula 3 language, and he incorporated all good thing in the new language. That language name is Python. Because of that reason, because of that reason, Python is very easy, one thing, and second thing is Python is very structured language because Python got both the good thing from the ABC language and Modula 3. So I believe you guys understood about this. Now after that, coming to the history of the Python or version history of the Python. Before going to understand the version history of the Python, I think you knows about what is the concept of the version. So whenever any company develop any software, any product, anything, so they are basically giving one version number. Even we all are using the Android phone. So every time we have seen new Android version come in the market. So whenever company launch any product or any language, so let's suppose they have given the version. So most of the time, the first version number is 1.0. Then after when the things comes in the market, people will start using and they found some small bugs. Then they will they will notify this thing to the company, and company will modify, and based on that company will launch a new version like 1.2, 1.3, 1.21, 1.23. So that is, there are two things. One is called the major version, another one is called the minor version. Major version means 1, 2, 3, 4. This is called the major version. And after the dot, after the decimal, the number what we are able to see, that is called the minor version. So like 1.0, then some small problem they resolve, then they launch 1.2, then some problem resolve 1.3, then some problem resolve 1.4, like that. So when some major changes company has done in the language or any product, then they will change the major version like 1, 2, 3, like that. So in Python, initial version of the Python was 1. After that, version 2.x came in the market. So ArcGIS desktop means ArcMap, ArcCatalog, ArcScene, what we have used. ArcGIS desktop is built on Python version 2.x. Okay, ArcGIS desktop has built on Python version 2.x. Maybe if you will check ArcGIS version 10.7, 10.8, 10.9. So these version, maybe you will get 2.6, 2.7, like that. So ArcGIS desktop is built on Python version 2.x. I don't know the exact version. Like I know this ArcGIS desktop 10.8 is built on Python version 2.7. But other version I don't know. So that we can say like ArcGIS desktop is built on Python version 2.x. After coming ArcGIS Pro. ArcGIS Pro is basically built on Python version 3.x. So as I told you, 2 and 3, this is the change of the major version. Because of that reason, ArcGIS Desktop and ArcGIS Pro, the internal architecture of ArcGIS Desktop and ArcGIS Pro is totally different, because ArcGIS Desktop is developed on Python version 2.x, and ArcGIS Pro is built on Python version 3.x. And similarly, because we are going to do the customization in ArcGIS Pro, so obviously we have to learn Python version 3.x. Because if you will learn Python version 2.x, so maybe definitely some functions you will miss, which we are going to use in ArcGIS Pro customization. So in our course, like first half, what we are going to spend to learn Python, we are going to learn Python version 3.x. So there are many versions are there. The current version of the Python is basically 3.14.x. This is what? This is the current. Maybe if you will check current now in Google, what is the current version of the Python? So maybe 3.14 की जगह पे 3.15 you can get. So, but because rapidly things are changing. So, but when the time I have created this PPT, till that time, last version what I have seen, this is Python version 3.14. And what the Python version we are going to explore in our course, that will be the latest version of the Python. We'll check what that version. So, and Python symbols, Python logo also changed. Like in 1992, this was the Python logo, and now basically after 2006, this is the Python logo. So if you will find the Python, then you will get this logo now. This logo is basically, this is very old one. So this is the Python history. I am not going too much deep because these all things is just for your knowledge. Okay, so this is what I explained you. This is more than enough. But what I explain you, please understand things properly, because ultimately the questions what we are going to solve after the session, these all questions are based on the current discussion only. Now, after that, next important thing, Python and libraries. Actually, many time you guys heard about Python libraries, ArcPy, QGIS Python, RasterPy, NumPy, Pandas, GeoPandas. So there is little bit small confusion. Some new people will basically feel, but here I I am trying to explain the things in very easy way. There is a one thing is Python. Okay, Python means what? Okay, you have one smartphone. Okay, you have one smartphone, but in that phone you can only do two operation. One is simple calling you can do. You can call, and you can send or receive SMS, send or receive message. So ultimately your problem is going to solve. You can call through function. Sorry, you can call through the phone, and you can send or receive the SMS through the phone. So this phone have all basic facility, calling and SMS. But now thing is you want to use WhatsApp. You want to use the WhatsApp in your phone. Means you have Python. Python means simple phone which provide you all the basic features. Now you want to use WhatsApp. Then what we are doing? We are installing WhatsApp. Then after we can start using the WhatsApp. Let's suppose you want to use the Instagram. Then you have to install the Instagram, and then you can get all the facilities of the Instagram. If you want to use the Google Map, then you can install the Google Map, and you can get all the Google Map features. Similarly, we have different libraries. That libraries provide you different features. Like we have one library, that library name is Pandas. That library, if you will install in Python, this library, if you will install in Python, then you can easily do the data analysis. Let's suppose ArcPy. If you want to do the customization using the Python, then you have to install ArcPy. If you want to do the customization in QGIS, then you have to install QGIS Python. If you want to do some web development, then on top of the Python, you have to install Flask library. So there are hundred of libraries are there. Okay. In market, there are hundred of libraries are there. These libraries you can use, or any developer can use based on the requirement. So now I think you can understand what is the Python and what is the libraries. Python, if in your machine If in your machine you have installed the Python, then it means you can do all the basic operations. What basic operation that we will discuss later. But with the help of the Python, we can do all the basic operation. But whenever you want to do the specialized operation, let's suppose you want to do raster related analysis, correct? If you want to do the raster related analysis, then you have to install raster pi. If you will install raster pi, then you will get features where you can do the analysis on the raster. Similarly, NumPy, if you want to do the mathematics related operations, if you want to do something some mathematics in the Python, then you have to install which library? Then you have to install the library NumPy. So libraries are basically available. That libraries you can use based on your requirement. And as you know, Python is a open source. So all these libraries also is the open source. There is no need to spend money for the license. So first we will install Python in our machine. Then after on top of that, we can install all these libraries based on our requirement. But in case of ArcGIS Pro, whenever we are installing the ArcGIS Pro, ArcGIS Pro automatically install Python and ArcGIS Pro is automatically install ArcPy. So you no need to worry about that installation of the different things. But just for your knowledge, because every time you are not going to work with ArcGIS Pro, maybe after some time you are going to work with the machine learning. Then immediately you can think if I want to use the machine learning, then which library is useful for the machine learning? Then आपको पता चलेगा कि यार scikit learn, there is one library, his name is the scikit learn. That library is useful for the machine learning. Then you can install the scikit learn and you can start your work. So we have to understand what is Python and what is libraries. So libraries also is basically internally, libraries also written in Python language only. Okay. So whenever we want to install any library, we can easily install on top of the Python based on our requirement. Now after that, coming to the features of the Python. So what are the features of the Python we have? So this is easy to learn and use. As I already explained you previously, Python is very easy to learn and very easy to use. Expressive language. Expressive language means whatever the word, whatever the things we are using in Python, this is self definition form. Means let's suppose if you are working, if you want to find out the square root, so maybe you will get the function name sqrt. So everything is basically in the expressive language format. Then after interpreted language, this you guys already know because in the previous session we already have discussed in detail what is the compiler based language, what is the interpreter based language. Cross platform language, that also we have discussed in the previous session. Most of the interpreted language is basically cross platform. The same program you can run in Windows and the same program you can run in the Mac machine as well. Free and open source, everyone knows. Object oriented language, that I will explain you later. Extensible. Extensible means what? Like as in the previous slide that as I explained you, we have Python and based on our requirement we can install multiple libraries. So that installation of the multiple libraries is the property of the extensible. So based on the requirement we can install the library and we can extend the existing power of the Python. Large standard library, as I told you, 100 of free libraries are available. GUI programming support. GUI means graphical user interface. Like there are in programming, there are two type of programs we have. One is graphical user interface program. Graphical user interface means where you can use the mouse. Like for example, if I will write here calculator, so we are able to see here calculator. I can click here, I can click here, I can click on the into, then I click to, then I click is equal to. So this kind of program where we can use the mouse and easily anyone can handle, this kind of program is called the GUI based programming, or this is called the GUI program. At the same time, if I will write here something like this command. So now if you want to do something here, if you want to write something here, here there is no role of the mouse. Here only thing is you can use the keyboard. So this the program which will run here, the program which will run here, that program is called the command line program. Okay. So there are two type of programs we have. One is the GUI program and second one is the CLI based program, command line interpreter. So CLI means black and white screen and GUI means beautiful screen. Then after we have integrated, so Python is basically we can integrate Python with any other language as well. Similarly, this is embeddable. We can embed the Python with any language, like if you want to embed the Python with some different language, then you can easily embed. Then after dynamic memory location, what is the meaning of this? Meaning of this is Python has very good property where basically if you are using Python, then Python will automatically manage the memory. Python will automatically manage the memory means if any variable you are using, and any variable if you have used, and let's suppose after some time you are not using that variable, then Python will automatically check and delete and release the space. So basically this property of the Python is called the dynamic memory allocation or dynamic memory management. So Python have very good property of the dynamic memory management as well. Now after that, where we can use the Python. So as even in initial days, I already told you, Python is the language which we can, if we will learn the Python properly, then we can develop the mobile application. We can use the CLI based application. We can use to develop the web application, and we can use to develop the GUI based application. I already shown you what is the GUI based application and what is the CLI. GUI means beautiful form. You can use the mouse, but CLI is the command line interpreter based application. Normally in bank and all these places, or normally in the in the scientific things, people are developing the CLI based application. Normally these are the three applications frequently we are using: GUI based application, mobile application, and web application. And the best property of the Python is Python, we can use Python to develop any kind of application. So these are the different areas we have. And as I told you, Python has a rich set of libraries. Like these many type of application we can develop, and each and every application we have different library which we can install on top of the Python and we can develop. Like here web application. Again, I am telling you, this is for your knowledge. Okay, this is for your reference so that you can get understand what is the library and why people are using the library. Because see, whenever you are working in any company, okay, so rarely we have some company which are working with multiple domains. Most of the companies are working in one specific domain. So let's suppose your company is working in the web application development. So definitely when you will start work in the web application development, you have to install these library: Django, Flask, Plone, these libraries for the web application development. After that, desktop application. Desktop application means GUI based application like calculator. So if you want to develop the GUI based application, we have the library Kinter. This is the main library which we are using. And after that, this is also very common library, PyQt. PyQt and Kinter, these libraries are basically we can use to develop this kind of application like calculator. This kind of form based application, if you want to develop, we can use the Kinter and we can develop. After that, console application, this is the default output of the Python. So we no need to install any library for this. Then if any company is basically working with the software development project, then for them the best library is this SCONS. Here, the scientific and numeric calculation. If you are in the scientific calculation field, so these are the libraries like SciPy. SciPy is especially for the scientific calculation. Scikit-learn. This library is for the machine learning. NumPy is for the mathematics. Pandas is also for the mathematics or statistics calculation. Matplotlib, this is for creating of the graph chart, this kind of thing. Now after that, if any company is involved in the business related application, then they can use Triton. Audio and video based application. So we have the library GStreamer, PyGlad, Qt Phonon. 3D CAD application. If you are in the development of the 3D CAD, so these are the libraries which company can use. Enterprise level application development, you can use OpenERP or Triton or Picalo. Image processing, this is sometime this is in our field, means we are in the GIS. So sometime we want to do the image processing. So for that we have the library OpenCV, we have the Pillow. These are the two very important library. Like let's suppose if someone asks you to develop a application to recognize the vehicle number plate. Maybe someone asks you to develop a application to recognize the face. Then in that case, in that situation, this OpenCV library, Pillow, these libraries have capability to do or to develop this kind of application. ArcGIS and QGIS, like for you, if you are working in the ArcGIS or ArcGIS customization, so for you, libraries is useful. Which library is useful? ArcPy. If you are in the QGIS customization, then QGIS Python library is useful for you. So this is the tabular form of the same thing what I explained. So web application, which library? API and microservices, Fast API and Flask, scientific and numeric calculation, NumPy, Pandas, image processing, we have the OpenCV and Pillow, ArcGIS Pro customization, ArcPy, console application, REPL, desktop application, Kinter, and showing the graph and chart, Matplotlib. So these libraries basically very few people knows all these library, because the reason is uh, in which company you are working, based on the company's culture, based on the company expertise, you are working, like you are working in Genesis, or you are working in Rolta, or you are working in क्या बोलते हैं रामटेक. So these all are the GIS companies. So definitely you are going to use either ArcGIS or QGIS. So ultimately you are going to work with the ArcPy or QGIS Python. That's all. Now after that, this is another very interesting topic for today's session. because this topic is something very different. So to understand this topic, let's suppose I I will give you these colors. Okay. For example, I have given these colors to you, and I ask you to create some drawing. Okay. Means I have given you all these colors. You can use these colors only, and then after you need to create some drawing. सो ऐसा हो सकता है कि सबका ड्राइंग एक जैसा रहे? कभी ऐसा हो सकता है? क्या पॉसिबल है क्या? कभी ऐसा पॉसिबल हो
नो।
सकता है? नहीं हो सकता ना, क्योंकि जितने लोग हैं उनका सोच अलग है, सबका क्रिएटिविटी डिफरेंट है. देन डेफिनेटली people you will use these colors, and they will create different drawing based on the creativity. Now here, please remember this thing. We have taken these colors, and then after we have created this drawing. Now the thing what I want to connect here, in this world. Acha, before that I will ask one more question. इस दुनिया में इस दुनिया में कार नाम की कोई चीज है या नहीं? एनीवन टेल मी कि ऐसी कोई चीज जो हम यूज करते हैं, कार नाम का कोई चीज है या नहीं? बताएगा कोई? और उसको ये सिंपल बनाता हूँ. इस दुनिया में ऐसी कोई चीज है जिसका नाम जीआईएस है, जो हम यूज करते हैं? जीआईएस नाम की कोई चीज है या नहीं है, जो हम यूज करते हैं? प्लीज प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड माय वर्ड. इस इन दिस वर्ल्ड, डू वी हैव एनी usable item which name is GIS? Do we have or not? Quickly give the answer. Okay, no need to wait for a long time. Quickly, if you know, yes, nahi jante, no problem. Can anyone tell me the answer of my question? Do we have any usable item which name is GIS?
पॉइंट लाइन खोलेगा।
क्या चीज?
पीछे से डिपेंड और पॉइंट लाइन खोलेगा।
So the thing what I want to convey, इस दुनिया में जीआईएस नाम का कोई भी चीज नहीं है जो हम यूज करते हैं. और इनफैक्ट इन दिस वर्ल्ड देर इज नो नथिंग इज नेम इज कार what we are using. We have Maruti 800, we have Creta, we have BMW, we have Audi. If we are coming to the GIS, we have ArcGIS, we have QGIS, we have G Small World, we have Map Info. Actually, GIS is what? GIS is GIS is a theory. GIS is a definition. Means if you let's suppose if you go to the RTO office, and you ask to the person कि भैया what is the specification of the car. Then he will give you one government document, and in that document is mentioned that what is car. आप कौन से आप ठेले को कार क्यों नहीं बोल देते हो? आप ट्रक को कार क्यों नहीं बोल देते हो? There is a definition of the car. The car has four wheels. Car will be one steering, one clutch, one brake. Five people can easily accommodate in car. Car length is maximum 3 meter. Car width is maximum this much meter. So car is what? Car is not the physically usable item. Car is a definition. Car is a definition, and different companies have used the definition of the car, and they have developed Audi and BMW and Ertiga, Brezza, and all these things. Similarly, in our GIS, GIS is a definition. If you will check in the book, if you will check in your theory book, what is GIS software? So you will get a proper list. Any software where we can create the map, where we can do the query, where we can export the data, where we can generate the report. If any software will be fulfill these things, then we can say this is a GIS software. So different companies comes in the market and they have taken that book and they have developed their own different software, and that software we are using. Like ESRI has used the definition of the GIS and they have developed ArcGIS. G G company have used the definition of the GIS and they have developed G Small World. So the thing what I am trying to convey you, and that maybe once you will listen, then you will not believe on this. So in this world, there is nothing what we are using as a Python. In this world, in this world, there is no language. There is nothing, there is no item exist which name is Python, what we are using as a programming language. Then the question is what we are going to learn. जब पाइथन है ही नहीं तो हम लर्न क्या करने जा रहे हैं? नाउ द आंसर इज एक्चुअली पाइथन इज अ theory. Python is what? Python is a theory. Python is a set of rules. You cannot use this. You can use this. This is the syntax. This is the specification. You cannot use dollar. You cannot use this character. You cannot use that character. So this all rules, these all grammar, these all things is mentioned in one book. That book name is what? That book name is the Python. Now after that, similarly, as we have discussed about the car and GIS example, different companies comes in the market and सबने वो पाइथन की बुक उठा उठा के लेके गए, and they have implemented all these things what they mention in the book, and they have developed their own car. So if you want to learn what is Python theory, this is the reference which you can use and you can get the theory of the Python. Now when we will come to the market, so these are the different companies. पहला कंपनी का नाम क्या है? जावा. दूसरा है C#.net. तीसरा है जावा स्क्रिप्ट. व्हाट एक्चुअली मैं कंपनी बोल रहा हूं, बट इन द टेक्निकल लैंग्वेज the thing what I'm trying to explain you, that is called the implementation. So Java people has taken the book. Java people has taken the Python book and they have implemented everything using the Java, and that language which comes in the market, that language name is Jython. What is the name of the language? The language name is the Jython. So कोई अगर आपसे पूछता है तो what is Jython? Jython is a Java implementation of Python. अच्छे से सुनिए. What is Jython? Jython is a Java implementation of Python. Then after we have one language, that language name is the Iron Python. What is Iron Python? Iron Python is a C#.NET implementation of Python. What is Brython? Brython is a JavaScript implementation of Python. Then after, finally, we have the language. That language name is C Python. C Python is the C implementation of Python. What is C Python? C Python is a C implementation of Python. सो अब क्वेश्चन ये है कि यार ये तो सब सही है, बट अभी पाइथन कहाँ से आया और पाइथन का क्या है चक्कर? अभी पाइथन का चक्कर वही है, जब इस जब इंडिया में एक्टिवा आया ना, नया नया पहला जो गाड़ी आया, अच्छा, दैट नेम वाज व्हाट? दैट नेम इज द एक्टिवा. सो इतना फेमस हुआ, इतना फेमस हुआ कि इवन द पीपल who are purchasing some different vehicle which type is Activa, उसको भी लोग क्या बोलते थे? एक्टिवा. बहुत पहले ये वनस्पति घी आता था, दैट नेम वाज डाल्डा. इवन द नेम ऑफ द वनस्पति घी वाज डाल्डा. People are going to purchase another वनस्पति घी, that name is रथ. But what people were telling? People were telling, भैया वो रथ कंपनी का डालडा दे दो. वो इतना ज्यादा फेमस हो गया था डालडा. तो सेम यहाँ पे भी कहानी वही है. जैसे कि मैंने आपको बताया, पाइथन इज अ थ्योरी. पाइथन इज अ थ्योरी. These all language what I am showing you, these all are the Python, the implementation of the Python. मतलब Jython is the Java implementation of the Python. Iron Python is a C# implementation of the Python. Brython is a JavaScript implementation of the Python, and C Python is a C implementation of the Python. But in this world, but in this world, C Python इतना फेमस हुआ, C Python इतना फेमस हुआ कि C Python लोगों ने बोलना ही बंद कर दिया. वो C Python को ही सब लोग क्या बोलते हैं? Python. So always remember one thing, whatever the Python language we are going to explore, whatever the Python language you are trying to find somewhere, that Python language is actually what language? That Python is actually C Python. This is not Python. This is the C Python, because Python is what? Python is a theory. Python is not the language which you are directly using. The language what we are using, that language name is C Python. But because Python name is very famous, everyone is using C Python. In this world, only 1%, only 1% or 2% people are using these other languages. Only 1%, 2% people are using these other languages, Jython, Iron Python, and Brython. Because of that reason, C Python is famous as a Python. So this is what? This is the actual truth about the Python. If you want to learn more about Jython, Iron Python, and Brython, you can go to these websites and you can learn. And in interview, if someone asks you what is the default implementation of the Python, so always remember The default implementation of the Python is C Python. Okay. So after understanding this, I hope everyone understood this thing, what I try to explain you. So here coming to the development, because now in from the next session, we are going to start working on the Python development slowly. So Python development environment, if some people are from the GIS background, so anyways, we are going to work in the ArcGIS Pro customization. So you no need to install Python, because ultimately, if you will install the ArcGIS Pro, Python will automatically install. But if some people who are from the non-GIS background, so they have to install Python separately in their machine. For GIS people, you no need to install Python. Okay. Online Python programming, online Python platform also we have. So I will explain you how basically we are going to use programming and everything. But here, these are the different development environment we have. Now after that, this is another very important point, Python development environment. इसको समझने के लिए जस्ट एक सिंपल सा एग्जांपल देता हूं आपको कि if I ask you to write a letter, let's suppose if I ask you one simple question, write a letter, any letter, your this one leave application, letter to your father, letter to your mother, letter to your wife, anyone. So if I ask you to write a letter, and if I give you two options, one is Notepad, another one is the Microsoft Word, which option you will choose? If I give you two options, Notepad, write the letter in Notepad, and another option is write the letter in Microsoft Word, then which option you will choose? सिंपल क्वेश्चन है, कोई ऐसा बड़ा भारी क्वेश्चन नहीं पूछा मैंने.
Microsoft Word, right?
माइक्रोसॉफ्ट वर्ड, ये भी बता दीजिए आप क्यों चूज करेंगे आप माइक्रोसॉफ्ट वर्ड.
Because हम लोग इसमें स्पेलिंग मिस्टेक कम कर सकते हैं उसमें इजीली.
करेक्ट. So when if we are talking about Microsoft Word, in the place of Notepad you are going to choose, because the reason is in Microsoft Word it will automatically detect the error. It will give you many features. No, you can easily set all the content. You can color. You can print. There are many facility you are getting in the Microsoft Word. Similarly, in programming language, you can write the program in Notepad, any program, C Sharp, Visual Basic, any program. If you want, you can write in Notepad, but no one is writing in Notepad. Everyone wants some facility where if I will write any code, and if I have done any mistake, if I have written the wrong code, then it will tell me so that I can easily resolve the issue. So in development, there are many softwares are there. That softwares are basically called the code editor or IDE. That software is called what? That softwares are called the code editor or IDE. This is something like Microsoft Word. Whenever you will write the program, if you have written something wrong, so they will highlight in red color or something like that, so that immediately when you will write the program, you can get the mistake and you can easily resolve. So Python, when we are going to write, so we need one code editor or IDE. Actually, code editor and IDE both are same thing. The only difference is in IDE, code editor is already inside the IDE. Okay. IDE is very heavy software. IDE is very heavy software. Code editor is the small software. In our development or in our course, we are going to use code editor. We are not going to use IDE. There are many code editors are there. Some of the name I already have written here. Eclipse, Sublime Text, Autumn, Visual Studio, Visual Studio Code. Then we have the IDE, PyCharm, Spider. There are 50, 50, 60 IDs are available. But the most common IDE, which basically most of the people are using, that is the Visual Studio Code. So in our exercises, in our lecture and sessions, what the IDE or code editor basically we are going to use, that is the Visual Studio Code. So here I have written ki these IDs are basically, one second. These are the features basically you are getting in the IDE or code editor. Compiler, debugger, build automation, code editor, IntelliSense, syntax highlight. Actually, for us, these two features are very important. Syntax highlight. If you have written any wrong syntax, it will highlight and it will give you IntelliSense also. Like in the Microsoft Word, when you are writing any word, then automatically it will give you the IntelliSense. Similarly, when we are using any IDE or code editor, it will give you the IntelliSense. So this is basically just for your knowledge. Because of that reason, quickly I am finishing this thing. So one thing is important, whenever we are going to write any program using any language, we required one code editor. Code editor, we can use the code editor and we can write code in the faster way. If you are going to write code in the notepad, it will take too much time. These are the IDs and the company names. Like Microsoft have two this one IDE. One is the Visual Code and Visual Studio. Basically, Visual Studio is the IDE and Visual Code is the code editor. This is the small version of the this software. Google, Android Studio, Apple, Xcode, JetBrains, PyCharm, Eclipse, GitHub, Atoms, open source code block, and open source PyScripter. So these are the different IDs are there. Different companies have different IDs. Some IDs basically specifically designed for some specific languages. Okay, like here Google Android Studio. Android Studio is specifically designed for development of the Android app. Okay, so here Microsoft Visual Studio, this basically we are going to use in our sessions. ये भी एक सिंपल सा आपको एक दिया है मैंने कि कोड एडिटर एंड आईडी में डिफरेंस क्या है. This is basically not an important thing and it is not going to ask in any interview also. But this is just for your knowledge. As I told you, IDE and code editor. IDE is a big thing and code editor is the small thing. Code editor is the part of what? Part of the IDE. So you can basically in your development, you can use code editor and complete your work. Okay, so this is all about today's session. Questionnaire is there. So I will upload this question in our WhatsApp group. So you can go through the basically this question in from the WhatsApp group. So who invented the Python? In which year was Python invented? The first version of the Python was released on when? Guido van Rossum belonged to which country? Netherlands. The name Python was inspired by B option. Which language influenced Python? Python is considered. Which of the following is not the Python feature? Python supports which programming paradigms? Which framework is commonly used in the large web application? These all things is basically based on the today's session only. Which Python library is used for creating graph and charts? Matplotlib. What does REPL stand for in the Python? This is basically run, execute, program, and loop. Python implementation of the Java. What is the Python implementation of the Java? This is Jython. Python implementation of the .NET. .NET is the Iron Python. The default implementation of Python is what? C Python. इसको ही हम क्या बोलते हैं? Python. Python implementation of the JavaScript is basically what? Brython. Which of the following is an IDE? So these all questions are basically related to today's session, and I hope if you have attended the session properly, then you can easily deliver the answer as well. So I will upload this question in the group. And you guys please download and keep with yourself so that ultimately after the completion of this course, you will get a minimum 600 questions. And the good thing is basically